Hi you eights, today I'm going to do a video on how to make spaghetti bolognese. I have got all my ingredients out ready on the table. I'm going to show you my version of spaghetti bolognese. I do it a bit differently to the recipe here, but you could follow the recipe. Your mum and dad might have their own recipe that they love to make, but spaghetti bolognese, who doesn't love it? Spag bowl. Okay, I'm going to show you all the ingredients that we need for. Okay, our recipe, I've got my computer here, our recipe says 250 grams of mince, but this is for 2 people, but I'm going to make it for dinner tonight. So I have got 500 grams, well actually 400 grams of veal. I really like to use veal, and I was going to put a mixture of veal and pork, but they didn't have any. So I've got the mincemeat, carrot, celery, onion, tin tomato, garlic. I'm going to make my own pasta with egg and flour, so I'll get to that later. Salt and pepper, and we'll put some herbs in, some parsley or oregano, things like that at the end as it's flavouring up. Okay, we're going to chop and tail the onions, and now you guys know from last week that how to dice an onion, so you want them fine diced. I'm going to show you one, but then I'm going to show you my trick way. So one way, and you want everything fairly small, okay? So you want fairly small, okay? I'm doubling the recipe, and these onions are really little, so I'm going to use 2 of these. And I'm going to just roughly chop my carrot and celery as well. Okay, so I've roughly chopped up garlic, onion, carrot, and celery. I am now going to do my cheats method and put this all in the food processor. So year 8, this is my food processor. I love it. I use it every single day. So I'll pop my food processor up the bowl down, and I'm going to just throw all of those ingredients into a bowl, into the bowl of the food processor. Click the top on, and seriously, that's all nicely chopped now. Just going to give it a nice, another bit of a go. And as you can see, nicely fine chopped up, ready to cook. Okay, I've got a nice big pot here. I like that, so then you just don't have to worry about spilling all out. Now I'm going to put some olive oil into the bottom of this. I like having all my sauces and salt and peppers all ready to go. Just cover the bottom with some olive oil, and I'm going to, with my wooden spoon, pop this in, ready to cook down. Now at this stage, I don't want this to burn. I just want to sweat it through, okay? And you want to just get it to release all its sweetness out of the carrot and the earthiness out of the celery. We do not want it to brown. We just want it to get nice and sweaty. I've sweated these down a fair bit, and they're smelling really, really fragrant, okay? You probably cry a little bit because of the onion. I'm going to turn my fan off while I'm talking. Okay, so what we want to do now is add our meat. Now, there's a whole lot of different versions of bolognese. The one that we've got the recipe for is a very quick version. I believe the longer you cook your bolognese, the better it will taste. So you just got to keep your eye on it. Now, I think it's great to cook for like an hour and a half, 2 hours if you've got, but you can always do a quick version. Now, there's also another theory about the traditional bolognese always has milk or cream in it. I don't know, I've never done it that way, but I'm going to give it a go today. But also what we do with our 500 grams of minced beef, I'm going to put 3 rashers of streaky bacon in it, or you could use pancetta, which is a smoked bacon too. much better quality, a bit expensive. So I'm just going to use 3 bits of bacon, middle rashers. So they're streaky bacon, so it's really not, it's not that big. Just gives that a nice fatty texture. Okay, so I'm just going to cook that off a little bit. Now I don't really want to brown it. I just want it to change colour from the red colour. And then I'm going to add 2 cans of some crushed tomatoes. Okay, I've mixed those tomatoes through, and I just always put a tin of water. Okay, I'm going to also put in some oregano, big pinch of oregano, a big pinch of salt, some pepper, and here I have some bay leaves, which put great flavour into stewed meat dishes, and some parsley, chopped parsley from my garden. Now, this is pretty much it. Like, you could put other things into it. You could put red wine. You can put some tomato paste. You can just, but now is the time. Like, I'm just going to turn it down. Once I've got it to the boil, turn it down and let it cook until, and then you add, then you check for flavour. Okay, for seasoning, make sure you've seasoned it enough. We're going to put a slight bit of cream in it at the end, and the cream is supposed to take the acidity out of the tomato. But let's see, I don't usually do that, as I say, but today I'm going to give it a go. While I've got my pot over there bubbling away, I'm going to make the pasta. Now, the ratio for flour to egg, and I always do it in my food processor too, is 100 grams, 1 egg for every 100 grams of flour. So I have got 300 grams of flour there. So that would mean 3 eggs. So, but I'm going to add the egg as it's whisking, and it will come together. Now, as you can see, it has come together like that. We now have a pasta dough. What we want to do though, we want to make sure, we're going to knead this a bit, but we want to make sure it's as dry as possible. So this is actually a little bit sticky at the moment. So I'm going to take it over to the bench and give it a bit of a knead with some more flour through it. Okay, just going to knead this together. And we want it, don't have to work it too much, but we just want it so it's nice and dry, it's not sticky, which that's good now. Okay, we're going to pop it in the fridge and let it rest for a while. Wrap it up in Glad Wrap. And let it rest. Go, our sauce is still cooking on a medium heat, and I have rested my dough in the fridge for about half an hour. So I've got it here. I'm going to, this is my trusty pasta machine here. I'm just going to chop it into manageable pieces and start to put it through my machine. Okay, so, and I want to make sure that it's always floured. So I've got a bowl of flour here, and we're going to start on the widest setting. Now you can do this easily by rolling it out with a rolling pin, or you don't even have to do this. You can just buy your pasta already pre-made, just dried pasta. So I've just put it through once, fold it, and put it again, and this kneads the dough. Make sure I've got lots of, and I do that about 4 times. I love making pasta dough. It's yeah, fun. Okay, so I've put that through and I've kneaded it. Then I'm just going to go down each notch one at a time and put it through a couple of times each setting. Now I think we might have fettuccine tonight, so I've only got on this machine, I've only got fettuccine and spaghetti. The fettuccine is the wider one, the spaghetti is the round skinny one. And so I'll keep putting this through until it gets to the thickness that I want. Okay, so it's getting pretty long now too, so I reckon I might have to chop it in half to make it manageable again, but I will show you that in a second. Yeah, okay, so I do need to put a big piece here, chop that in half and pop that through again. I've got all my pasta dough all rolled out to the same thickness. Now I'm going to change this up to this top part, which will give it, make it into the fettuccine for me. So, and I have fettuccine. I'm just going to make sure it's covered in enough flour so it doesn't all stick together. I might just get some more flour, because it's at this stage you do not want your pasta to stick together. So I always dust the machine with lots of flour. A bit messy, but fun. Okay, and we'll go through. Okay, so year 8s, I've done a whole lot and I've just left it on the table here, and I've put lots of flour on it so it doesn't get sticky, because we want it as dry as possible. So we'll just wait until our meat's almost ready. So the pasta will cook, will take about 7 to 10 minutes to cook. Okay, I've put the pasta into a pot of boiling water, and I'm going with some salt, big pinch of salt, and some olive oil, and I'm going to cook that until it's tender, al dente, so which means just to the tooth. Okay, and then once that's cooked, I'll strain it off and we'll be ready to serve. Now we're at serving time. I've actually, my pasta is al dente, and I have strained the water off. I'm just going to put some, there's a lot of pasta here with 300. You know, for 4 people, I reckon I could probably have done 200 grams of flour and 2 eggs. But, you know, who doesn't love pasta? Okay, now I did, whilst we're off camera, I did add a splash, probably a tablespoon of cream, and it did make it taste really lovely. A couple of big heaped spoonfuls of meat. Now I don't know whether you're like me, but I love it just on top, but I love lots of sauce. I've got some freshly cut up parsley and some Parmesan cheese. Well, you could probably put that the opposite way around. And so here we have 2 serves of pasta and some really yummy garlic bread that my daughter made. Ivy made that because she loves garlic bread with pasta. So this is our spaghetti bolognese. Now I don't expect you guys to be making the pasta, so we just use a dried pasta for that. Okay, just the normal pasta that you get in the supermarket. So hope you have fun. See you tomorrow, guys.